left, right, and center. So there was a letter that was shown, and of course CAF was also issued a statement saying that of course FKF announced their withdrawal from the qualifiers of the Total Energies Women Africa Cup of Nations in Morocco 2022 because they wrote a letter signed by Barry Oriena, and there it is. It says the double header between Kenya and Uganda, initially scheduled in February 2022 as part of the last qualifying round, is therefore cancelled. Of course, CAF had written, not the CAF, but FKF had written and said that, Peanaini game. Uganda became the first team to join host Morocco for the final phase of the tournament, which will be played in July 2022. The Women's African Cup of Nations will bring together 12 of the continent's best teams, all battling for the right to be called African champions. What can be your initial thoughts on this? That could be a whole statement.
Yeah, I was gobsmacked.
Yeah.
Honestly. You know, the one thing we were giving this Football Kenya Federation credit for was the growth of women football.
That's right.
That they're doing so well with the team, that they're playing better, they're getting allowances compared to what was happening before. They had raised their level of the way they were playing their football. And to do this to them now, like all goodwill is done.
Yeah.
Like now you have literally plunged Kenyan football to the gutter, and I don't think there's any way back for him in terms of ever having any sort of leadership role in football in this country, because who is he trying to punish? I mean, Mohammed will sleep at night. You know, she will be okay. No, even though she's a CS, she'll be fine. There are other things that she has to deal with, but it's the girls. You know, we were with them because Vihiga Queens, a majority of the players are in the Starlets team.
Right.
And we were with them when they were getting the news about, you know, what was happening at home. They were wary whether they'd be able to get transfers. And one of the things they were really particularly keen on is like the African Cup of Nations, the women's. And they were scared, like, what does that mean for us? Will we get to play? And you know, they must have had a lot of hope going into camp because the preparations had started well. The caretaker committee were actually, you know, they had appointed the coach and they had gone into camp and they were preparing. So the news, to get this news must be devastating to them. And they had a really good shot at qualifying. The way they've been playing, the players they called back, you know, the top players, Essie Akida, it's really unfair, and that's the whole point. Barry, Nick, you've hurt the girls. You have hurt the girls. You've not hurt anyone else. You've not hurt the government. You've hurt the girls. And if they think it was worth it, let them try and sleep at night. Like for me, it's just not right. And I hope the government finds a way to punish them because that was unjust.
Yeah.
Actually, what Mukami is saying, the letter we have just on screen now, actually that's the letter that was, if you can still have it up, that's what was authored by supposedly Barry Otieno, I don't know whether to call him FKF CEO or the one who were kicked out. But now, as Mukami said, and the rejoinder we are having from CAF, because there was, is this legitimate? Has CAF confirmed this? Then on Saturday, they published an official statement on their portal, which we were carrying a much earlier on. And as Mukami says, the question is, if you're leading the game and you feel I was elected to drive the sports agenda forward, I might have been kicked out as Swiller, but if I really loved the game so dearly, as I claim to be, why would somebody take a decision to have our girls barred out of such a competition? And she's rightfully put it, Nick has nothing to lose. He has got economic lifeline. Probably we here, we have economic lifelines by the virtue of the job we do. But those girls, it's the football they kick on the pitch that's putting food on their table. And rightfully, after the heroics of the girls in Cairo, we've seen some of them ink deals in France, in Turkey. And those are the kind of positive stories we want. And I want to again jump the gun and say that Starlets, without a iota of doubt, are going to beat Uganda to go for that AWCON finals. That's another platform again, showcase your talent, attract more clubs, and also market our country. But now, if you write a letter saying they can't compete, we're not able to organize this, then we are banned or blocked from competing. Who really loses? Who really misses? It's not my friend Nick, it's not my friend Barry, but those girls.
Well, they're not my friends.
Well, me, I want to look at it differently. I want to look at the chronology of events. Just before Amina kicked out Barry and team, we were being fed to some story that, oh, if FIFA bans us, our referees will not go for AWCON, oh, Gor Mahia will not play in the continental assignments, oh, the Harambee Starlets will not feature in the AWCON. Basically, these guys were feeding us with fear. That one did not work. On the 11th of November, Barry Otieno wrote a letter to CAF, telling CAF that the match pitting Gor Mahia and Oroya, that was Tusker when they were playing the team from Egypt, they could not handle. He wrote more or less the same kind of a letter to CAF. And CAF responded and told him that that match will go on. Now, he did not stop at that. He wrote another letter. But the reason why I'm bringing that chronology of events is I'm trying to build up a case. For me, the letter we are seeing is not the only letter that was sent. This letter is too mild for me. Because I talked to that lady, though she didn't want to talk to me much, the manager of, from CAF, the ladies manager, the lady who withdrew Kenya from CAF. And when I told her that I was a journalist, she disconnected because she didn't want to give me more. But as a journalist, I could pick a lot of things from her. She was trying to safeguard somebody. This letter is too mild for CAF to withdraw us. CAF cannot withdraw you with such a letter. They will ask you, are you sure that you want to withdraw Kenya? You have to confirm that. So for me, there's another letter that is not being fed. Whatever is being fed to us is very mild to try and portray some people to be diplomatic. But I'll tell you without fear of contradicting myself, there's another communique that was done to CAF. And when you tell CAF that I want to withdraw a country, they will ask you once again, are you sure, Raburu, you want to withdraw Kenya? So there are two ways to look at it. I'm looking at the way forward. One, the only way we can solve this thing is through politics. Politically. Legally, we are done. Because Uganda have already dissolved their camp. They are waiting for their trip to Morocco. Diplomatically and politically, we can still solve this thing. I saw Aminat saying that we are still on, and I believe the national team is still in camp. They've not dissolved that camp. But once again, just to echo what Mukami has said, the leaders who have left football in this country had some sense of entitlement. They thought that this game is just about them. And I'm once again echoing our sentiments. The government must act to deter any other person to bring shame to the country. These ladies are not going just to go home without anything happen. Kenya is bigger than Arocho. Kenya is bigger than any one of us. So in any case, you try to interfere with the smooth running of the country, I believe something should be done.
Something should be done. And openly, as open as that letter was, it should be something we can see, not a statement we are dealing with. We need to have actual action. Shitera.
I would say that it is the highest form of retrogression in people who swore to uphold the standards of Kenyan football. People, we had a lot of hope in them. They called themselves energetic Team Blue or something. People who were young, people who had fresh ideas. But you can see the ideas are rotten completely, because as an individual myself, I will not do such to such promising young girls. We are seeing football from our girls is what is flying our flag high. We have tried with the Harambee Stars for decades with no results. The ladies have gone to Egypt. They have come back with the results. As Mukami was saying, the news that came in, it just came in a day before these ladies played their final game against River Angels from Nigeria. And we saw the psychological effect. They lost that match because they did not know what the future poses for them. And Sarocho said this letter was written, it was just a photocopy of the same words, save for the changes of dates and some few characters in there, that was sent to CAF when Gor Mahia was to play Otoho from Congo. But again, I'm very sure they were asked the same questions. And I believe Rachier moved with speed to ensure that that match was played. So it is the same case, and I think CAF should rise also above this. CAF knows the situation in Kenya. They should know the right people to engage. FKF, as per the Sports Act, stands disbanded. They are not allowed to transact any business concerning football in Kenya. And I believe also, as Mukami said, because that is illegal in Kenya, action should be taken, because that is fraud, in my view. And what I will say is that it's not all lost. We can really follow up the matter. And if you see the chronology of events, there is a connection between what was happening at CAF, what the illegal team in Kenya was doing, and the federation in Uganda, because the news broke from Uganda. When we tried to find some leads, we got an email which was sent, purportedly sent, and we questioned ourselves if indeed the communication from such a governing body can come through emails. They should publish information on their portal. And that is when we got the information on their portal on Saturday. And indeed, even before you make such an action, you really need to truly find out. I'm very sure CAF have information that Harambee Stars is in camp. Did they follow up to find out how are you not able to prepare the team and yet the team is in camp? I'm sure they have officials in Kenya. They usually send match commissioners to check on the stadia. Is the stadium in Kenya fit to host that match? Is the stadium in Uganda fit to host that match? And they take back reports. So which report did they have? Is a letter enough for them to call off a match? I think there is something behind the scenes that we are not aware. And I believe our AWCS Ambassador Amina Mohamed will follow this through, and I'm sure that match will be played, because these are some form of dirty politics in football that will not move our continent anywhere, even as we try and struggle to match our colleagues in Europe and America. So I still have hope. I'm a very hopeful person. Let those girls, let those girls not wear out. Let them keep on fighting. As Swila said, I'm sure it will be played and they will win.
Because even when Arocha was saying instill fear, I was one of those people like, yeah, we're going to be banned. For sure, we're going to be banned. But Chitera was telling me there's no way we'll be banned.
Yes, I did.
So now you're saying the game will be played.
The game will be played.
They pushed that fear. Just to add on to what Mukami is saying, the people who felt that they are so entitled to the game in Kenya pushed the fear. And I'm among the people who dared FIFA to ban us. FIFA was not going to ban us simply because one or two people messed up here and there. But just to add on what Shitara is saying, I think we still have time. Between now and the 17th, we still have time to negotiate politically or even legally.
Even diplomatically.
Even diplomatically. But I'm also seeing us going to CAS, the Court of Arbitration of Sports. Because in any case, CAF doesn't rescind that decision. We'll have to go to CAS. And that's when the letter that I believe is there.
The hidden letter.
Yeah, the letter
that
I believe is there will come out, because when you go to CAS, you have to prove.
You have to prove.
CAF will have to prove
Why?
that Kenya communicated it for them to be withdrawn. So I'm seeing several scenarios, and I believe that for whoever wrote that letter, let it not reach CAS, because when it reaches CAS, you will be exposed to the entire world, the letter and the confirmation that Kenya is withdrawing.
And the good thing is the evidence on the ground is clear that Kenya was ready. As Shitara was saying, the coach was appointed, the girls are in camp, the stadium is ready, the caretaker committee have made sure that it's very evident that Kenya could have played this match. And yeah, So
my
now
only, my only concern in this matter, as Aracho says, the haste with which CAF moved to publish that statement on their portal.
After questioning.
Yes, it was very, very fast.
Yes.
I read some sinister motive.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think I'm very sure CAF should be able to rise above all these petty stands to try and just push someone through who has not done anything. Let the match be played. And to our very friends who are instigating all this, we have had leaders before. They have exited in such manners, but they have respected the Kenyan football. The late Mohamed Hatimi was, I think, ejected in the same manner, but he was a football lover and he left football to move from where he left. Sam Nyamweya, another respected leader in football, did the same, left the Kenyan football and handed over the mantle to Nick Mwendwa, who really gave us what
Showing his true colors.
who really gave us what he could, and his time has reached. Na tumemwambia
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Asante kwa uliofanya. Tutasonga mbele. We have very good leaders in Kenyan football, in Kenyan politics. Does not mean that when you exit, Kenya will stop and close. Kenyan football will move and probably maybe to a better place. So please save us all this nonsense.
Actually, as Aracho says,
vengeful.
the way forward, and I believe Ambassador Amina is doing something, the avenues of appeal, and now they have to move with haste.
Fast, yes.
Right. Very, very fast. Because again, the girls in camp are getting this kind of reports.
Yeah.
It disorients them. You tend to lose focus. And I believe they were really fired up for this, because I was looking the lineup that was called by Alomira. And you're having Ese Kida returning to that team after 2-year hiatus. Yeah? You have Gentrix Shikangwa. We have
Terry
Dogo Adam. Can you imagine that potent?
That combination.
Alomira is the reason Vihiga Queens got to where they were.
Absolutely.
He is the
Look at it this way also, guys. That's why I'm saying that something was cooking. Alumila came into this team. In fact, Alumila is a coach that has been sidelined for so long. Why am I saying so? This is someone who won the league 3 times in a row. Never ever appeared anywhere close to the national team. Look at the fact that Akida is doing so well in Europe. Has never been anywhere for 2 years near that team. So basically this is a team that somebody was handling like his own personal business. Yeah. So when they feel, and that's why I talked about sense of entitlement. They felt so entitled to this thing. And I'm telling whoever is watching from that side, football is for Kenyans. Yeah. And there are 2 things that you cannot mess with. That is Harambee Stars and Starlets. It is the property of Kenyans. It's not a property for any other person, Arocho or any other person.
Yeah, add Gor Mahia to the list.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Then I'll have to also add KCB.
They also,
No.
and I saw their fortunes start dwindling when they messed with Gor Mahia and FC Leopards.
Yeah.
How dare you ban FC Leopards and Gor Mahia?
Speaking of Gor Mahia,
let's end on this. Guru.
Gor Mahia.
You can't take on the government.
Yes.
Even Novak Djokovic, the #1 tennis player, learned the hard way that you cannot take on a government. Yeah.
Yes.
A legitimate government.
Ile watu what are trying to employ scorched earth policy.
Yeah?
In leadership. Ukitoka
na ndio tunasema